is Jordan Henshaw.
And my name is Kelly Raybon.
I'm the mechanic.
And I'm the journalist.
Together
we're Try and Prove It.
Someone has been charged with aggravated murder and is facing the death penalty, so we better figure it out, right?
How do we tell the difference between an assertion that is true and an assertion that is false?
You've got to start with all of the evidence, and you don't have all the evidence just yet.
Okay, well, I have no idea. Whoever, but it's a dot.
Where's the dot?
Right there.
Science is not absolute. It doesn't say this is what happened for sure. It says this is the best explanation we have.
3, start sequence. 1. If one picture is worth 1,000 words, one field demonstration is worth 100 internet conspiracy theories. I'm gonna ask something at the risk of, being wrong, okay? But we're all just friends here. We're all just talking.
Hello, friends. Happy Thursday evening. And tonight on Try and Prove It, we are putting a major claim under the microscope. So Candace says that the mysterious burned item in the car was Charlie's shirt. That's the latest theory. But does that actually hold up when you test it? Or is it just another theory that falls apart under scrutiny? Well, Jordan is going live with a real-time experiment to see what the evidence actually does, not what people may say that it does. No speculation, just results in real time. Plus, I'm taking you inside my trip to UVU, walking Tyler's alleged path step by step, comparing the narrative to the physical reality on the ground. Now, there are some things that don't line up, in my humble opinion, and we're going to show you exactly why. And yes, we are going to address some of those ongoing frustrations with, we'll say, the big influencers' claims, because at this point, if you are putting theories out there publicly, they need to be tested and not just repeated or retweeted. If you're here for the facts, receipts, and the real-time analysis, you're in the right place. Let's get to it. Jordan, are you ready over there? I hope so. Here we go.
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So what we have today, we have some gauze pads to test with the, and this is fake blood. This is just red paint, but we're going to use that as blood. We also have a torch. We have some gasoline in case we have some difficulty getting the shirt to ignite. We have scissors to cut up the shirt so I can keep at least part of the shirt, the top. This is the Carhartt Force Sun Defender shirt, a size large. This has this logo in the bottom left that we see on Charlie. It has the double seam that we see on Charlie. It has the black band around the collar that we see on Charlie. It has the rectangular logo or tag that we see on Charlie on the back. And it also has the graphic goat logo right there, the little goat right there. I'm not sure if you can see it, but you can also see it on the inside perhaps. That indicates that this is a sample order from Graphic Goat. The custom text was not printed or put on the shirt by Graphic Goat, so that would have had to have been done in-house at TPUSA or with a local shop. So our mission today, our objective is to cut and burn part of this shirt to see how it burns and what it looks like. And we're also going to put some red paint on it to do our best to simulate what could have been in the car that day. So we're going to go ahead and start cutting it now. This is 100% polyester. I can show you that as well with this tag right here. Not sure if you're going to be able to read that. Kelly?
Yes, we can read it. You guys, you can see Carhartt and 100% polyester.
Perfect.
And Jordan also, the audience wants to make sure that you have some sort of fire extinguisher nearby just in case.
I do actually. Hold on.
Okay. Leave it to Jordan, always prepared. And yeah, I appreciate Jordan. He thinks through all the things, and for those that don't, or those things that he may forget, the audience has us. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you for the suggestion.
Absolutely.
So we will go ahead and continue cutting the shirt. This is like the most exciting part of the stream here.
Well, don't tell them that. Then they may leave after your experiment. We have a jam-packed full show.
No, I mean cutting the shirt is the most exciting part of the stream.
Oh, okay.
So here we go. We're going to preserve the top part so I can still have it to sort of do show and tell later. I don't think we need to burn the whole thing. Okay. I think we should put the blood on first, since that is what would have happened on the day.
In theory.
In theory.
And in the meantime, everyone, please make sure that you like the stream, that you are subbed, share it out if you can. We would really appreciate it. This is good stuff.
Yes, and please subscribe to Try and Prove It.
Also, Jordan,
can-
folks would like to know if it is oil or acrylic paint.
This is oil-based, I believe. Let me check. Most everything is oil.
Is that
Um,
itself highly
this is
flammable? Acrylic.
This is acrylic. I don't think so. But we're going to find out. We're doing it outside, so that's good.
Well, and folks are asking why paint. And so, Jordan, would you like to elaborate on that?
Because I don't have anything better. I mean, I can do the fake blood, but I would have to mix up a batch, and I don't really feel like doing that right now. And I usually use red paint in the fake blood anyway to get the right color, because the food coloring doesn't really do it.
Okay, everyone's saying that oil paint is super flammable, so. They're also letting us know that we could buy blood from butcher shops and many other places. So
Yes,
that's
that is true.
noted.
But it only counts if I have time or if I manage my time such that I actually do it.
Right?
Yep.
So,
There we go.
I mean, let's remember this is not Jordan's full-time job. He has a real full-time job beyond this, but here we go.
Do we have good view of the flame?
Of the flame, is there a
No, we don't.
Okay.
Let me just tilt this up then.
There you go. Yep.
Okay.
Now we see the flame. Oh man, I'm nervous. Be careful, Jordan. People say get the paint can out of the way.
I think people are being a little bit too bossy tonight, Kelly.
Well, now I understand how worried they get about you, just like they were worried about me. Oh my gosh. Yes, and doing this in a suit. That's for sure. That's boss moves.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and light.
Okay. Oh my God. Thank God we have the extinguisher. Wow.
So this is part of what we got.
Interesting. Interesting. Look at all that. What was all the white flaky stuff on the table before? I don't think I remember seeing that
That's the
before.
fire extinguisher.
Oh, okay. Huh.
So we have this little bit here.
Interesting. Thank goodness. Thank you, GCL, and everyone in the chat who recommended the fire extinguisher.
So that is what it looks like. That's the shirt. And now we're going to do the gauze pads.
Oh my gosh, please be careful with that.
With what?
The gauze pads.
Why?
Because I feel like they're smaller.
What do you mean?
Just in mass, they're smaller.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that you're careful. That's all.
What would
We're
I
all
need to
just
be
looking
careful
out
about?
for you.
I'm not burning these. I'm not burning these, so.
Okay, got it. Just kind of like sopping it around in the. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, the other thing I think we should test out on another time, I wish I would have thought of this ahead of time, was like a paper bag, similar to
I
the
can get one of
potential
those.
door.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I did think of that, but I forgot. But thank you for reminding me.
the DoorDash.
So this is what that looks like. So I don't think it's that. Do you have the image pulled up?
No, but I can
We
pull
can
it
do
up.
that later.
Yeah,
We
we
can
can
do
pull
that
it up.
later.
Yeah, we can pull it up a little bit later.
Okay, let me
And I
run
think
and get it.
once that dries too, because it'll be helpful to have that dried.
Yes, I'll be right back with the paper bag. You copy?
Okay, well, you guys let me know in the chat what you're thinking so far. What are your big reactions?
Did you
at this
copy
point?
that?
Say that again, that you'll be right back.
I'll be right back. Yep.
Okay. Well, please let me know, you guys, what you're thinking, your reactions. And, oh, sorry for my dog. Here, trying to juggle a few things over here too. Yes, Chewbacca, I saw your comment. So, Brayden, go get the dogs. Sorry, you guys. 3-ring circus over here.
Oh no, I can't hear you anymore.
Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear
Yes,
me now?
I can.
Sorry. I
Yep.
was just saying, why would they leave the shirt half burned? Why would they leave any evidence in the vehicle? I struggle to understand that myself. Looks a little, planted to me. Can I put your camera back up, Jordan?
Yes, please.
Great.
So this is our theory on what it might have been. I haven't made it bloody yet, but that is the starting point. Right? I cannot hear you if you're speaking.
Oh, yes. No, that's what our theory is. Sorry, I thought you were
Yes.
just speaking. Yes, that's our theory. And you could see in some of those pictures a DoorDash bag in the back seat. If anything, it looked like maybe a piece of that.
And this color isn't entirely accurate, but
That's pretty good.
yeah. So if it were to dry, it would look more black. Or I guess this isn't going to dry black because it's paint, but blood would on the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's fairly close.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot closer than the shirt.
I mean, I think so too, especially if it's just crumpled up. But there are folks in the chat who think that it looks like the polyester shirt looks really close to what's pictured in that image.
Oh yeah. Let's take a
And
another look at that. So I could see this part being pretty similar.
Yeah.
I think. I suppose this part here.
But it's still just, I think the overall like middle color looked a little different.
Mm-hmm.
And I just maintain that it all felt staged. Cool Pigeon says burn it more. So I don't know.
Yell at me. Call the fire department.
Right. I mean, that was a massive flame.
Yeah.
But I appreciate, Jordan, that at least you took the time to go at least to do this, not only live, but just to record it as well. I think that says a lot. For me, a disappointment personally was just to not see video of them actually. It's like, if you're going to go through the process of doing something, why not just record it?
Mm-hmm. So I'm starting to clean up now. So I will go ahead and rejoin upstairs.
Perfect. Sounds good. We will see you in just a moment, Jordan.
All right.
Okay, guys. Sorry, my son has just come in here and wanted a fourth meal of the day, so trying to order that while I'm also hosting. Okay, well, if you could just try to figure that out. Sorry. Okay, well, can you go in the other room, please? Because I'm in the middle of a live. Thanks. Everyone, Braden says hi. Alrighty. So now let me get into the right setup and we will be moving right along. Well, so one of the things that we wanted to kind of discuss tonight is, well, for one, the Sean Ryan and Candace Owens interview, because we really haven't gotten into that very much. And then two, just some of the aspects, I think that it feels like maybe she's led people a little astray sometimes, or says things that are like obviously not right. And it gets to be a little frustrating. I do not intend for this to be any sort of bash Candace session at all. But when you've got someone who is leading the investigation, quote unquote, it ends up reflecting on everyone. And so that gets to be a little frustrating. So I'm wondering if anyone in the chat wants to drop in some examples that you can think of things that have been said over the last 10 months. I mean, we certainly have a few things that we would like to talk about. But I'm curious what things that you guys notice as well. And this is a great point, GCL. So I kind of have a suspicion that she gets a lot of bad intel. That may be the case, but in my opinion, it's up to her to investigate that and not just run on half cocked before she tells, couple million people. She's got 6+ million followers now, that something is what she believes that it is. That's all. Oh, this is so nice. Go Jordan. Without your know-how, the whole show would tank. Well, hold on a second. You mean that I would tank? You mean that I would tank? Okay. I think Jordan may have some of the elements, so I'm waiting just a second. But let me pull up what I can. So, even during the Sean Ryan and Candace episode, there were some things that, I mean, not only I get frustrated with Sean Ryan, and we have made some jokes about, holy shit, oh, really? And Jordan and I, if you guys caught us during our coverage last week, you heard some of those laughs, but it's like it all starts to feel so staged. Oh, Jordan is back in the house. It all starts to feel so staged, and you have to wonder, why are these folks talking about all of this if if they don't really, really know the nitty-gritty details? Can you hear me? Oh,
Yes, they can.
okay, perfect. There we go.
How was that? Is that good?
Oh, it was amazing. The audience was loving it.
Perfect. So we want to pull up some Candace clips?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Gary just replied to me. Oh, that's good. See, let's show this. This is a nice tweet from Gary. It's kind of off topic, but let's minimize and pull this up. Go into this one. That's a nice tweet. Okay, let's pull up the Candace clips. So do we want to start on Sean Ryan?
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. Sorry, I've got a son who's like harassing me over how much fast food I've ordered for him.
He was talking about that earlier too.
Yeah, well,
Calm down, buddy. All right. Yeah, Gary, Paramount Tactical. Here we go. And let's unmute the screen here. And let's go into here. And what is, or maybe I should go into transcript mode. Is there a specific part that's most exciting?
I don't know if I would call it exciting, but I think
it's very exciting.
I mean, exciting, frustrating, something along those lines.
What's the most frustrating? Because I haven't seen this yet.
Okay. I have a lot of like little notes, but I think when she's talking about, when she's basically talking about the event, I mean, just go to Charlie part, and if you just want to type in Charlie in the transcript, or that can get us started.
It's not letting me scroll. Can I scroll, please? Nope. Okay. Scrolling up here. Okay, here we go.
This Charlie narrative. So they were trying to
Thank
argue
you.
that he's not a public figure, and he basically said he was forced to become a public figure because of me. I'm the reason he had to go on the Sean Ryan show to clear his name, and I never covered him on my show once. Never spoke his name on my show before he went on your show because it
So
was.
hold on. He's claiming he came here because to counter your narrative.
Yeah.
But you weren't talking about him.
Never said one word about
before.
him or the security apparatus because I knew them and my mind just wasn't there at all until he did your interview, and it was so disastrous in my view, and I think also the view of all the people who watched it. According to the comments, there was just something off about it, and I went, whoa, he's answering questions weird. The stuff that he's saying doesn't really make sense. But that's their argument they're trying to make because they're trying to get the court to see him as a private figure who only had to come out and do the Sean Ryan show.
You know what was interesting though? Let's go to her show when she talked about the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I can talk about that.
Perfect. And while you're pulling that up, I want to mention that there's a little bit of a controversy. I don't know if you've heard about this, Jordan, but in the lawsuit of Brian Harpole filing against Candace Owens in federal court, Candace hired an attorney who apparently has recently, I think, I'm going to mess this part up a little bit, but has been engaged in some kind of legal activity there that all of the entire bench in Middle Tennessee recused themselves. The judges recused themselves. And so now they're trying to figure out who will be able to hear the case.
Yeah, you
It
posted
almost
about
seems
that.
it almost seems to me like, I mean, is this like an easy a way out of the case? It's so strange. Or is that
Grok
strategic?
Grok says this is highly unusual and appears unprecedented in a standard civil federal defamation case. No clear parallel examples turned up in other districts for similar suits. Is this the one?
Things that make you go,
This is the same episode. You remember which episode was the shirt? Maybe it was this one. Oh, this is interesting. I made it onto Candace the other night.
There you go. The moment you've
And
been
I was
waiting for.
I was even speaking when they paused it for the screenshot, as you can see. I wasn't talking in the show, but you can also say that my field tests have made it onto her show as well, because in my profile picture, I'm doing one of my tests.
Nice work.
So my tests have made it onto Candace Owens.
In one way or another.
Is this the show with the shirt, though?
It would have been kind of there you go. Yep.
Me to be fired or lose my life. I started to email during the question of the pulse oximeter.
If we could pause that for just a second. At the beginning of this, okay, I understand people got all over our case about when she first showed this burnt material in the new car photos a few weeks ago. Man, people jumped all over our case about me saying, why did she call it an Uber Eats bag when it's a DoorDash bag? The thing is that facts matter. And when you're the lead investigator, whether we like it or not, you have to get things right because it just offers an opportunity for opposition to poke holes, discredit, any of those things. And it was like how she led the show. So, I mean, just know. And she's had these photos for, I don't know, 6 months, 9 months, something like that, a long time. So come on, like we gotta call it the right thing. So in this case, she says, oh, a doctor emailed me, when in fact, right off the bat in the top of the email, you see it was a nurse that emailed her. I'm just saying facts matter.
It's about professional integrity. And we're going to talk about that later. And like, why does this stuff matter? It's because imagine a lawyer went up to testify, or not to testify, but to talk during a trial, and they just started using the wrong words for this, using the wrong words for that. In that context, it's like, no, the terminology does matter. It's on the written record. And is Candace's show equivalent to that? No. But we expect the same general level of professional integrity. And we're going to get into some of the principles that we can draw from this later.
Used one today. The silver, I believe, is the hypothermia blanket that comes in that medical pack. I think you figured that out. Your mind is asking the right questions, but what is the charred, burned thing on the ground? It is his shirt. I have taken care of multiple burns as a plastic and reconstructive surgery nurse, and that is his shirt. How? Just flatten out that bunched up piece, flatten it out in your mind, flip over the right side in your mind.
Yes, I actually did send her a video. I sent her an email and a video. And I can actually show that real fast if I can find it over here. Because that is unlisted on Try and Prove It. But we can probably find it if I go over here. But I did send her a nice email telling her exactly what the shirt was. But we're going to get to that in a second. It is this video. If I can unexpand this one. I made her this nice little video showing her exactly what the shirt is. And it only has one view, so I know she hasn't viewed it. That's my view. But I made her this entire
look
video.
at the extent of effort that Jordan went to. And, he is a recognized creator in this space. Took the time to contact her, make a special video for her, kept it unlisted. And look, I know she's busy, but she also has a staff. And just, it is what it is. And it is questionable to me.
The top part is the bloody top of the white shirt. The back is scorched.
So the issue I have with emails like this and publishing them is you need to be able to demonstrate your claim. It's a very easy claim to demonstrate, as we just saw. So if we're going to make these like super confident assertions, and she will
Why?
try,
How? Because
we can probably do better.
Electrical current is hot, and the shirt had some polyester in it. When polyester is heated, it
So when people say that electric current is hot, the issue I have with that is we don't. Is this live? Let's not have that live right now. We have this post that I just did. Someone has a new theory on what happened to Charlie, and it's like really complicated. And I can show this now. This is one of the things.
Feeling kind of cool?
Happened.
Feeling kind of cool? What's causing this wire to jump? Well, as it turns out, charges that are moving.
Okay, and then they also have this video here.
Second switch, it's going to send DC current, the same current, through the wire. And since this is a coil, it makes a straight up or a straight down magnetic field. But this straight line wire is going to create a circular magnetic field. And, well, watch what happens.
So they think that's what happened to the shirt, and they wrote this John Bray style single paragraph explanation that I kind of read, but it sounds like John Bray. And the issue with it, like I point out here, is he's not wearing that.
melts. It does literally like, it looks literally like a lit cardboard. I had a patient that got burned by a grill and his shirt melted onto his skin, stuck to the skin. Part of it looked just like that. It only had a little polyester in it. Polyester is plastic. It took a procedure called debridement to get the charred shirt off of his skin and spots. The black is necrotic burnt skin, like burning a piece of chicken skin. I'm sorry for the visual, but it is dead skin, burned skin. They likely ripped off his shirt and ripped off his skin. So in my opinion, it is a shirt, burned polyester and charred skin. Do an experiment, find that type of shirt and lay it on an electrical eye on the stove. Think about what it would do to the skin, burn onto it. You see it all.
Hey, chat. Was the Carhartt shirt fire resistant?
Even though does it say it says fire resistant, or what exactly does it say on the label? Or
I can run and get it.
flame retardant or something like that.
I wish you had your screen share on, but
Yes.
I'll just keep playing this. I'll be right back.
All the time at blank. You can call a burn MD. Hope that helps. You are in my prayers. Please be safe, really safe. Christ is king and never give up. Go Max. So again, the repetition of these emails made me think that the experts, the people who work in these industries, might know what they're talking about. And I suddenly was looking all over my house for a polyester shirt. Couldn't find one. Best I could do was a mixed polyester shirt. Baron Coleman was here the other day, and he told me that he thinks that that particular shirt that Charlie was wearing was 100% polyester, but the best I could find was a 50% poly mixed shirt this morning. And we are waiting to receive a full polyester one. We went ahead and just started burning stuff. Me and the team went outside and we just started burning the shirt. And I'm going to show you the result that we got. I was totally surprised to see. Of course, we don't have blood on the shirt that we burned, but this is what we got. And I have to tell you guys, I think there is something here when you look at the other object. Look at this. Look at this comparison. We did this morning on the right. On the left, you are looking at that remain. And then we had people that were telling us that they think that that portion up top that's quite thickened might even be remnants of the road mic. I don't know about that. But that tippity top part that you're seeing is what she is referring to when she says the collar, the seam. I can see that now. We received another email where a woman is telling me that you're looking at the F of the shirt. I can't quite make that out, but I'm stunned by this. I'm stunned that we were able to replicate that, and it's not perfect. Obviously,
Okay. Give her a slightly better pose there. It says, built to serve and protect all hardworking people. For Sun Defender. I don't think that necessarily means that you can put it on the surface of the sun, though. It's not going to defend against that much sun.
Right.
Oh no. The tag is on the part that I threw away.
Oh man. Okay, I'm going to pull up the listing
Okay.
in the meantime.
an explosion versus us just lighting something in a fire pit is going to be different, but I am stunned by that plausibility. And we're going to keep you posted. I think there is something there. I'm actually trying to get my hands on what was left behind in Charlie's vehicle. I'm ever determined.
I've seen someone comment this before, something about an upside down suitcase. Can you clarify what you mean by that? I'm not sure what that's
yeah.
about.
So that's talking about, it's actually the gear box that Charlie is, his chair is up on. So I don't know if it's like a speaker goes in it or something goes inside that black.
You mean gearbox like the AV box, not gearbox like on a car. Okay.
Right.
Perfect.
Moving on to Turning Point USA and their affiliates, they are obviously losing their minds right now. Okay, of that there is no doubt. They are throwing every stone, making every accusation. They are getting their hands really dirty.
You know what? I still have another one. Actually, I'm wearing it right now. I can read it right here. No, it's this one. It says, I don't see anything about fire resistance on the front, but on the back, it says, turn garment inside out, machine wash warm like colors, non-chlorine bleach, tumble dry low, do not use fabric softeners, cool iron, do not iron or ornamentation, do not dry clean. Spring 2025. And Yeah, there's nothing about fire resistance on here.
So I think that it might be a different model of the shirt because there is definitely the Sun Defender, which I think is the one that was available through what's the site that you bought it through, something Goat.
Graphic Goat.
Yes, Graphic Goat. Thank you. But then there's another option, and it's like their FR line, and that is 100% cotton FR jersey. I'm looking at Carhartt's website right now, and then
You want to do screen share?
Yeah,
Because you have a computer that you can do screen share on now.
that's right. Stand by. Okay. Share screen.
Make sure you select audio if you wish to share audio.
Wait, it's because I have it in my other screen. Maybe.
I don't know that Candace is aware of my work. I'm not sure that she is aware, but it would be nice if she was, I suppose, if I got some exposure from that, or if we got some exposure from that, but I don't know. I've not seen evidence that she's aware of my work or our work.
Okay, it's going to make me like change a bunch of settings right now, so I'll be ready for the next time, but I'm going to send you the link in the meantime. For whatever reason, it would require me to
go ahead and through it. I'll read some chats and go ahead through it. I want you to have
require
control. You remember the last few shows. It was like you were telling me to do this, do that, do this,
okay,
do that.
Okay, Jordan.
Please take the remote. I'll read some chats. Norma
it's going to require me to restart the computer, so it's not worth leaving the stream for that.
Yes, it is. Okay. I do believe that Dan Flood dropped Charlie into that upside down suitcase. My guess is that it was a soft landing pad made of foam or an opening to the ground so he can make his escape. Storms to Light says, I wonder if the thing in the back of the truck is a burnt prosthetic. I suppose it could be. Let's pull that image up again and let's see. She's still in the studio, so I guess she didn't reboot her computer. But it would be nice if she did so that she can have the remote and we don't have to fight over it. Where is that screenshot? Is it true that you only shared the screenshot for 2 seconds? All right, let's see if this looks like a prosthetic. Does this look like you're still in the studio.
Jordan.
You're still in the studio.
Yeah, it's not like I've got to enter all these passwords and all this stuff. Can you just
Okay.
like...
I'm reading chats. All right.
Yeah.
I wonder if the thing in the back of the truck is a burnt prosthetic. I don't know that this looks like a prosthetic. I don't think that it does. I think it looks a little bit more like cardboard, and I can actually bring up this video now to see what it looked like again, because I have the video from the other phone. And we can play this back real fast. Whoa.
That's for sure. That's boss moves.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and light.
Okay. Oh my god. Thank god. The extinguisher.
So let's scroll forward to when I show this part. So does that look like it? Let's see. Let's do a side-by-side comparison. I wish you were on the other side here. I think this is pretty good.
Interesting. Look at all that. All the white flaky
It's
stuff.
echoing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I'll keep that off then. I think I did it again at the end here. I showed it. Yeah. So I don't know that it, like this part here doesn't seem like it's a shirt. It seems more flaky and layery than a shirt
Mm-hmm.
to me. And I don't even know that it matches the cardboard. But I would like to bring this into my editor real fast. So I'll take this off the screen and I'll bring it into my editor so that we can get a better side by side. And file, open a new project.
Do you want me in the meantime to look at the listing?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, you have your screen share. Perfect. Go ahead and take it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to remove us from the screen, I think.
No.
Oh, hold on.
There you go.
There we go. Okay. So when your work demands the extra protection of flame resistant gear, this men's shirt meets industry standards for safety without compromising on fit or performance. So I think this is part of their FR line, which means it's flame resistant. But I don't think that that necessarily means it's fire retardant. So whatever these codes are, I have not looked them up yet, but this is a different shirt. This is not the Sun Defender. This is a different shirt with the FR technology.
And is that possibly compatible with being the same shirt? Does it have any clear indicators that would say that it's not the same shirt?
Well, I'm not on the Graphic Goat website. I could do that, but at the
No.
Graphic Goat website, I just recall it being the Sun Defender, which to me is a different line.
Let me rephrase. When we look at Charlie, no, don't go to that.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Can you go back?
Yep.
So when we look at Charlie, is it possible that what he is wearing is this shirt?
Well, I mean, this was the first one that I pulled up because I knew already that the FR line is has this technology in it.
Yeah, but what I'm asking is, are there any indicators or visual signs on that shirt that would disqualify it from being what Charlie wore?
Well, I don't believe that this is the shirt that he wore because for one, it's long sleeve. It's got a pocket on it.
Okay, so that would be a yes. Okay.
Yeah, but as I said, this was just the first shirt that I pulled up with the FR technology. They have an entire line. And this was just the first one that I pulled up. But all of these, for example, are FR, FR, FR. And who's to say, look, if he wasn't ordering, 200 of these shirts or something like that, that he couldn't just call up Carhartt and say, hey, I really love this shirt. Can you please just make me a cut of it without the pocket or something? I haven't looked lately. I know that I looked like 8 months ago at the shirt.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm ready once you're done with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now I have this in my video editor so we can see it side by side. So the color, the red color is a lot more red, bright red, than it would be for dried blood, but that's okay.
That's pretty good.
Okay, so this part is definitely darker than like this part here, but the color is about the same, yeah?
Yeah, the chat thought that you did a great job with the color.
I think this is probably the closest that we have. I think this is the closest that we have. And just imagine that the color of the paint is slightly darker. I can get better paint that's the right color. But I think that's probably the closest we're going to get.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not necessarily proven that's what it is, but I think that's probably what that is. Because when we look at, I think I bring the shirt in again. Where do I bring in the shirt again? Because remember, you say that someone thought that the shirt was better, and then I bring it up again. Where is that part?
I
would
thought
love to
toward
see
the
the
toward the
shirt.
end, I thought. Yeah.
Oh, it might be I'm showing it the other camera. Maybe I didn't show this camera again.
I see. Yeah, that's probably what happened. I didn't realize.
Yeah, that's what happened. Okay, that's all right. But I think the conclusion there is that the cardboard wins, in my opinion. And that's because the white of the shirt is just a lot whiter, I think.
Mhm.
And it's not really the same. Like you don't have it shrinks. The shirt does. And I don't see it shrinking. Um you know, that just doesn't look the same to me. But anyway, let's get back to the Candace episode.
Road mic, I don't know about. And for whatever reason,
Okay. Yep, we can't see her yet.
Here
Here we go.
fired from Fox News or had.
But anyway, so let's go back to Sean Ryan, yeah? Are there any highlights from Sean Ryan that we should look for?
Yeah, so let's see. I got pulled over on looking at Carhartt t-shirts, so hold on.
Do you want to go back to that?
No, we just were on that. I think we're done with Carhartt.
Okay.
Oh, one of the biggest podcasts in the
That was a bag. That was a cardboard paper bag. So maybe it would be even better if we had thicker cardboard.
world defend himself against me. And I'm like, well, that's going to be a tricky argument considering.
Oh, I don't care about her defamation lawsuit. Oh, we do have chapters here. Perfect. We have chapters. Missing evidence, Charlie Kirk's legacy. We have threats, victimhood, and politics, probably. We have gaslighting. We have, I guess, her political assassination questions. This might be interesting.
Society needed shock treatment. And Charlie's death was shocking in so many ways, not just the death, the administration's reaction to it, his wife. There's so many shock points. It shocked the senses in so many ways. It made us consider things that were so beyond the realm of what we, I think, could have ever thought feasible. I think his assassination had to be live streamed. And
What do you
people
mean?
who
Why
are
do you say
evil,
that? Some ritualistic thing, or
yeah. So for 2 minutes, the people who orchestrated his assassination, it was ritualistic. I think that they wanted it to be publicized in that way because they thought they were then going to harness our emotion from having seen it to their benefit. And what it did was it certainly did harness emotion, but it was not to their benefit.
So you ask, why is the shirt white? I say it's white because it's political theater. And when you look at every single tutorial on how to do that neck wound for Hollywood, the shirt is always white. Let's actually pull it up real fast. Let's pull it up. Let's pull up every single tutorial. Neck wound tutorial.
How long have you thought that it was political theater, Jordan? Do you want to talk about that?
I've thought that for a very long time. Where's the ones that I'm looking for, though? Oh boy, where these are like not professional ones. Hold on.
What did
Neck
you
wound.
type? You typed in neck wound Hollywood.
Blood
Did you put in
prosthetic.
like prosthetic or something?
These aren't the professional ones. There's all kinds of professional ones.
Okay, while you're pulling that up, I want to say I haven't not seen your email just yet, but I did see Labella Anima. I did see this same clip pulling up in my X feed. So yeah, it was wanting me to like sign up for some kind of, I don't know, movie service or streaming service or something. I didn't know if it was a scam or not, but let me know if you actually watched it.
I can't find the professional tutorials right now. I don't know where they are. Like
Not
literally
like
all the ones.
Mike,
they're
not like
showing
Mike
up.
Makesh.
Oh, here's one.
Hello.
Yeah, this is the one. I have to be careful with this video.
I'm
But
Mike
in this
Makesh.
tutorial, this is a professional tutorial. He's wearing a white shirt because the blood shows up better. And that's why you wear a white shirt. So that's one of the professional tutorials. Stan Winston. Neck wound.
While you're pulling that up, Carolyn A said, I asked Google about Carhartt fire resistant t-shirts. It said, yes, they do. Showed a photo of a t-shirt that looked like the CK shirt. Again, I remember pulling something like that up very early on. However, then I wasn't able to actually find anything that was available for purchase. It could have been something that they discontinued, like as of late fall last year. But that's when I was first looking into it. So I'd be curious.
And this is another one showing you how to do the exact same neck wound, white shirt. And then there's another one that they do where they go to like a middle school or high school or something, and it's another white shirt. It's always a white shirt because it shows up against the blood shows up against white best. That's why it's a white shirt. It plays on your emotions. That's just what you do when you're baking
Yeah,
a
and
neck
it's
wound with a white
symbolic.
shirt.
Totally. And the idea of freedom. And it was something, there was something that Candace had said, which was new information to me, or at least that I didn't remember, was, an interview with, that I think Megyn Kelly had done, or she had appeared on the Charlie Kirk show, and she was asking Charlie's executive assistant, who apparently picked his clothes out every day, and had multiple shirts there available for him to wear. And Charlie picked the white freedom shirt. And, I think that was quite symbolic. But was it symbolic? Was it symbolic because he was going to feel free after he faked his death in front of everyone? Or, something a little darker?
All right, you guys.
All the stuff that he doesn't need to think about, I would do for him. And
clothes. How'd you do clothes?
Yeah, you figure that out. It was difficult, not the easiest job.
We have the clothing racks in the warehouse.
Yeah, some days I would just have to guess, figure out what is Charlie going to want to wear today, and sometimes I'd be right, sometimes not. But
well, can I ask you? This is not to take it to a darker place, but we're all wearing these freedom shirts, the same shirt that Charlie was wearing on the day he was killed. What is there a story behind this shirt?
Yeah, so we usually bring a couple shirts to the campus stops, and I asked Charlie in the car. I go, Charlie, what shirt do you want to wear? He goes, I want to wear the freedom shirt. That's not controversial.
What were the other options?
Oh, I can't remember.
Like, what
exactly.
did he wear like the one that my son has with Trump giving double middle fingers?
No.
You missed twice.
Not those ones.
It would always say something. Never surrender. Here I am.
Yeah.
Freedom. It was he liked his short taglines.
So yeah, that's the clip you were talking about, right?
Yep.
The emotional reaction that happened, if they could have controlled it and built a conduit for it, would have been amazing. If they could have just channeled it as they wanted to, literally channel.
And they channeled it with the not the ceremony, but the thing that what is
Memorial
it called?
service.
Memorial.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was them channeling it.
Okay, but I will also add that, you know, if Charlie and Candace were still so close, it does not track to me that she would not attend that memorial service, you know, or his private funeral that she has reportedly said that he had.
I don't think they were that close.
Well, but she portrays them as being very close.
They were close, but I think they kind of had a falling out.
But that's not what she portrays.
Yeah, I don't really believe her though.
So, yeah, I just wanted to mention that,
I
you know,
think
and then it's
she-
like we've never heard if she actually has had any interaction with the kids. You know, I wonder, has she ever actually even met the kids?
I don't think she has. Right?
She's never said, as far as I know.
Yeah, I don't think she ever met them or saw them.
Yeah.
I think that when Erica came into Charlie's life, that's when their relationship kind of ended. I think they were still close, kind of, but I think their friendship kind of ended because when a wife comes into the picture and you're a man, your relationships with other women kind of decline.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be what happened.
Yeah, I see. Let's see. Andrew Colvett freaked her out by saying that it should have been her and she should lay low. Has Andrew ever admitted that he said that? You
I
know,
don't think
not.
so.
I don't think so, and I'm not one to believe Andrew. I just think that all of this is a coordinated show. It's all in operation, and that, you know, I just hate the idea of people getting. It bothers me, the idea of people getting sucked into the charade.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. And manipulated, you know, emotionally, politically, etc.
Channeling energy, a form of witchcraft, right? And they wanted to channel that energy toward Erica, who in my honest to God perspective, I believe she is a tried and true psychopath, truly. And I'm not saying that to be theatrical. I'm you know, not trying to be hyperbolic. I mean, like clinical psychopath.
So this is not a bashing of Candace episode. I agree with this statement. I mean, I'm not going to diagnose Erica, but I made a video on it. I don't know if Kelly, you've made a video on it, but I made a video where I said, hey, psychopath is not even a clinical label. So I kind of have a little bit of leeway there. I think it fits.
I've just talked about it a lot. And then my Erica's exit video. I mean, I've been tough on Erica in appropriate ways, you know?
Yeah, like why though?
But
It's
I also think
because
she's a distraction.
we're supposed to. There we go. You're supposed to be on that side because you're leading this episode. So, why do we think she's a psychopath? It's because her emotions are very flat in a specific area, right? Because she doesn't have all of her emotions are fake, and that usually means that you're a psychopath, right? And I can pull up my video. There's a really good wheel that I have where I kind of show what I mean by that. Jordan Henshaw, Erica Kirk. They kind of show like what does it actually mean to be a psychopath, and it's a really good wheel. It's like the emotion wheel, but here we go. This is good. So a normal person is able to feel angry. They're able to feel anticipation. They're able to feel happy. They're able to feel trust. They're able to feel fear. They're able to feel surprise, sad, and disgust. But when you look at a psychopath, they're able to do angry, anticipation, happy, trust, fear. But a lot of these emotions are black. They don't exist. And they can try to feign those emotions, but it doesn't work very well because they're not able to feel those. Oh, God damn it. You have to let me know when I do that. So a normal person can feel all of these emotions perfectly normally, but someone with a affective impairment or emotional deficit, aka psychopathy, they can't feel any of these more complex emotions at the bottom here. They're cut off from those. So what I've said before, like I've said in this video here on my channel, when Erica Kirk is in ordinary, everyday situations, she doesn't need to, she has a lot of examples on how to behave, how to act, because she can see all these other people acting in normal, everyday situations. So it's really easy to fake it. But when she becomes a grieving widow whose husband was just brutally assassinated in front of the entire world, she has no examples on how you're supposed to behave. And she doesn't have that normal internal emotional experience to fall back on like someone over here would. She doesn't have these emotions, so she doesn't know what to do. She doesn't have examples of how to behave. So she messes up. She does creepy things like this uh, casket video where she has the microphone and she's kissing the body in this really, really creepy thing that's completely wrong. And that's because she has no examples to fall back on. She doesn't know what to do. No one has taught her how to behave in this situation. And she does not have the internal experience to just fall back on, because a normal person just behaves the way they feel. But Erica doesn't feel, and that's why her behavior feels so off, in my opinion.
A lot happening there. Okay, so he went on and did this difficult task of picking out shirts, and then Mikey McCoy comes out and tries to make it seem like it was a really hard thing to pick out a t-shirt. We have the room, it's got a lot of t-shirts, and this guy, Nate Walker, like grabbed a couple.
Oh, this is the wrong video, I think.
And I think that is what has shocked them, is that they couldn't do it. And so Charlie's death contributed to an awakening, and I have to keep that perspective that,
Keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't even look into his own assassination attempt.
Trump,
Yeah.
Butler.
They
There's a
fucking
reason for
blocked
that.
the
And that's what I mean by political theater. I think a lot of this stuff is political theater because, like the Trump thing, I don't know what actually happened there, but it feels fake. It feels like political theater. It feels like the purpose of it was to get him elected. Whether that's an inside job, whether someone paid somebody to do something, whether I don't know what actually happened, but it feels like it was political theater, like it was meant to get him elected. Because if that were to happen and it was real, when I first saw, and we're not going to get too far into this, but when I first heard that Trump had gotten shot during a rally, I assumed the guy must have been 3 miles away. That's what I just assumed. Has to be a guy on a water tower or on a mountain, something 3 miles away. And that was how he got the shot. And he's never going to get caught. But then you find out that the dude was on the roof on the next building over, and that doesn't work. So political theater was the Butler thing, I think, and I think that the Charlie Kirk thing was also political theater. It was probably some kind of false flag in order to gain support for a political party.
Investigation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What do you?
And not even necessarily a political party. And I'm sure Kelly can comment on this. It can be for religious ideology. It can be for a country outside our country. It can be for a lot of different things, not just politics.
I think that was.
I covered that recently on my show, and it should be reopened. And I think it was a successful assassination of Corey Comparatore. I think
Was that the firefighter?
Mhm.
I met his daughter at
Did you?
the inauguration that I never should have fucking went to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, they don't believe the story. They are not satisfied. His family is not satisfied with the investigation. And there was
A common theme here is when the victim doesn't want to investigate the crime, when they shut down people investigating the crime who are asking questions, that should tell you something. That should tell you that something's wrong here. Like Trump has never talked about it. And there's seemingly no investigation into that. No one's talking about it. No one's worried about it. He doesn't care about I forget the name, the guy on the roof for Trump. No one's talking about it. It's not a thing. And it should be, because he's the president now. But we also have the exact same thing with Charlie Kirk. We got the guy in 33 hours. There's nothing left to investigate. It's over. Give him the death penalty and move on. That's what they're saying. And there are many unanswered questions, the chief of which is, why is there no exit wound? We see Gary from Paramount Tactical, he says, and a lot of other people, oh, there's all these other people who have been shot by 30-06 and they didn't get an exit wound. Well, we can't demonstrate that. The other guy was shot in the back, and okay, like Valhalla just did another video with the exact same round and the exact same angle, right?
Yep. Oh man, and he went to the extent of being his buddy, who I guess is a sharpshooter or something. He's very skilled. Anyway, they got up on a 140 yards away, 9-degree angle. They tried to make it as precise as possible, and then went, over the top, shooting through a variety of things. It got pretty graphic at one point in there, but I highly recommend checking out that video if there's still a little part of you that thinks that maybe the 30-06 is a viable option.
And we'll stop this round, right? You better use a lot of Gorilla Tape too to give thick skin. All right, guys. So this is like the most obnoxious test ever, or actually kind of maybe expecting this to be the thing that can maybe stop this round. Okay, this is the
important thing is during the trial we found out exactly what round it supposedly was. So
which also didn't equate to even being a 30-06.
What do you mean?
The fragments that were discovered and the size that she said that it would equal to was not even as large as a 30-06.
I did not know that. I'll have to look into that.
Oh yeah. It sounded more aligned with a 223, but it was a range that she gave of possibilities, and it was far smaller than a 30-06. And thank you, VTO Army, for the reminder. There was dust in the barrel.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Okay, look, we got to watch Baron more. No, you know what? You know what the deal was is that we were live streaming the whole thing all week long, and it's hard to absorb everything as you're managing a live stream, talking to the chat, running in and out of the hotel room to the courtroom to the campus. I mean, it's a lot.
And why were you not watching Baron at night, Kelly?
Why was I not watching Baron at night? Because I was out at the campus, busting my butt, like getting photos and videos from all different angles around the campus, the neighborhood, classrooms, rooftops, and beyond.
I guess I could have been, but I don't watch Baron anymore anyways.
Yeah.
So, but I'm sure he had a lot of good takes.
Yeah. Oh.
Freshly butchered, massive cow neck vertebrae. You see, this is 3 inches thick in bone, attached to also a pork shoulder blade with another 8 inches of meat plus another layer of bone. Okay, so plus wrapped in Gorilla Tape. If anything can possibly stop this round today, this is what we're assuming is going to do it. So let's find out. All right, and then we'll turn it around. We might have to. Okay, so this was what we thought maybe would be the thing that might stop this round, right? We did a brand new massive cow neck vertebrae wrapped in about 8 inches of sheep meat, and then also sheep shoulder blade. Okay, so I don't know how many layers of massive bone, but as you can see, we had a separate IPSC on the bottom. Well, you can see
there's an
it blew through everything. So let's see the results here. Oh my God, look at that. So here's the exit wound, as you can see, and we shot it actually from the front of the pork shoulder.
So basically, they're doing everything they possibly can to get this bullet to stop, and it doesn't stop. And that's the exact same bullet, or the exact same type of bullet that was in their rifle or in a rifle that they claim is what killed Charlie. And
if Jordan, I can get you when you come to Texas to would you be down to shoot a hog?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that would be a conversation for your dad, but yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I see someone mentioning that Valhalla shot a pig too, or his buddy shot the pig too. And yes, that happened. But yeah, once Jordan is here, we'll be doing a lot more, experiments, demonstrations, etc.
Yeah. And maybe if we're able to, maybe we can just keep adding meat after meat after meat and see, those like where they do frying pans to see how many frying pans it takes to stop a bullet. Maybe we can do that with pork rinds or whatever and see how many it actually takes and see what the stopping limit is instead of every single test just goes right through. But I'm not showing the pig part.
That's graphic.
And also because the pig was already gutted, and I've realized that guts don't really stop bullets, but you can take issue with the fact that the whole pig was completely opened up.
I did have some hesitation on that. I wish that they would have just shown the entry point, and then I don't know if they said, like I know they said like there was a little fragment, but if they said that did they even find the full?
No, it exited. It exited.
Okay, see, they didn't show the entrance or the exit when I was watching, or I mean, maybe I missed it, but
I think they did, but it exited, so it didn't stop.
Okay, it just looked. All I saw was that it was split open, and it was pretty graphic. So,
but it was kind of hard to see the exit one. But anyway, yeah.
Strange set of circumstances of his best friend from high school having died a couple of.
Oh, we were talking about the reasons like Trump didn't want to investigate Butler, and TPUSA doesn't want to investigate Charlie Kirk.
Nor does Trump.
Yeah, just said it. But yeah. And like, why do we want to investigate Charlie Kirk more? Because there's no exit wound. That's why. And you also have the shirt yanking up to his ear. You can say it's cavitation, and I can argue back and say why it's not cavitation. But you can say that it's cavitation. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is cavitation, but a cavitation from a smaller round. I don't think it's cavitation though.
Years earlier.
But there's no intellectual curiosity. And I was able to talk to Blake Neff. I think I mentioned this on the show before, but I was able to talk to Blake Neff. And I asked him, I didn't ask him specifically about exit wound, but I asked him, hey, there's some really weird stuff in this case. Who was Charlie? Charlie was a teacher. He taught us to question the government when something doesn't make sense, to ask questions, to get the answers. Can you empathize with the people on the conspiracy side who see this stuff and are trying to do what Charlie would have said to do? And he got interrupted, and he started to kind of answer that, but he got interrupted because it was a Twitter Spaces, and that's what happens in Twitter Spaces. But like, that's what I want to extend to the other side here. It doesn't make sense. Charlie would have questioned it. We should too. And the people who aren't questioning it, that makes them seem suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
From a...
We can't see it yet.
Thank you.
An explosive. And I covered that recently. The
From
strange...
Patton explosive?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I plausibly PETN explosive. And I covered that recently. The
From
strange...
Patton explosive?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He worked with them, and I covered it recently on my show.
The firefighter that was killed worked at the Patton plant?
His best friend died a couple of years earlier and worked at...
Okay, so on exploding microphone theory, why is it not explode? Do you want to say something?
Yeah, I do, because, and sorry, I don't have queued up the exact time that she says this, but when she first starts talking about Patton and about the exploding mic potential and these things, she even stumbles over, like, I don't know how to say it. Is it PETN? I mean, it's just those little things that impact credibility when you're going on to a show that you know has the potential to have millions of views. And you've been, I know definitively, have been talking to John Bray for 6+ months. Come on, like, we got to have it down pat.
Yeah. And that's a common theme with her. So not knowing how to pronounce things. And like, okay, I'll give you an example of why this matters. In HVAC, Kelly, you know that I have a little bit of knowledge there. When you talk to a new HVAC technician who you've never met before, you have no idea what their knowledge level is. And they tell you about the refrigerant in the system, and they use the word freon. That's a red flag. HVAC technicians call it charge, they call it gas, they call it refrigerant. They don't call it freon. Redneck hillbillies, however, do call it freon.
I call it freon.
But you're not an HVAC technician. You're not an HVAC technician. When, like,
but I did grow up with redneck hillbillies, so...
But you don't want a redneck hillbilly doing surgery on your system. When you want to exude professional competence, you use the correct term. Freon is a brand. It is not the correct technical label. So that's just another example of when you use the wrong terminology, it's a red flag. If you want to be a certain status.
Right. And repeatedly. This isn't just like a one-off. This isn't just a one-off. It's over and over and over. Like every time.
He basically worked, he was a supervisor at a company.
And like, what's the counter example to this? You walk in, you know all the terms, you speak precisely, and you sound like you know what you're talking about, and that makes people
Yep.
listen to you, and it reflects better on all of us. We have, this is the second time I've seen this comment. Why do I not like Barron? He has a 3-hour show every single night that's like 60% super chats. I'm sorry, I don't have time to listen to all of his super chats. When I hear about a good episode, a good opening statement, I'll listen to his opening statement and maybe a little bit more, but I just don't have time to listen to all of his super chats. But we have a super chat. Not that one. Where did it go? Where has it gone? Did we do the Godspeed Kelly? I think we did.
Did we?
We have this one. Beam me up, Mr. Scott. Thank you for the $20 super chat. This is a little bit to cover the fire extinguisher expenses. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Beam me up, Mr. Scott. That's so nice.
And that is about how much that fire extinguisher costs. Thank you.
Did you go through the whole thing? We need to know. We need to know
Go
if there's
through the whole
leftovers.
thing. No, I did not. I most certainly did not.
Okay. And then also, hold on before you keep going. This point I think is interesting, and she's a good talker, which is weird. I think what they're saying is that Candace is a beautiful orator. And so you can tell that she has spent a lot of time honing her speech, honing her presentation. All of those things, even watching the small little clips here and there of her being in Russia. So it's like, that she's not in the studio in front of a monitor kind of thing. She speaks beautifully. And so, yeah, it does beg the question, like, why all of these little, little mistakes, like, often. And I see too that other people are like, well, it makes her more relatable to her audience. Does it really though? Because it impacts your credibility at the end of the day. I mean, if I was calling things the wrong, like critical things, we're not just talking about the vestibule. Okay. I got the word that time on campus, the double door situation. We're not just talking about the vestibule, okay? Or calling the courtyard,
Patent
an
is for leading.
amphitheater. Okay. We're talking about critical pieces of evidence and part of the timeline. That's all. Like, we just want everything is under such a microscope. We all have to level up.
Yeah. And what I'll add to that is I can't sit in front of a camera and just talk for an hour and have 100,000 people want to listen to me talk. I'm not that interesting. Barron can. I think Kelly, I think you could get to that point, but I'm not going to get to that point. It takes a very skilled orator to do what Candace does. So yeah.
Patent explosives because they perforated the wells for oil and gas companies, which requires the patent explosive.
So she does know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, this is now like 20 minutes, or I don't know exactly, but 15 minutes or something into talking about patent.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
But why do we not believe exploding microphone theory? I think we're aligned on this now. It's because you say, or John says, when you have, Sean corrected her.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. 90% efficient is what the shape charge is. Okay, where does the 10% go? It goes into the shirt, but the shirt doesn't explode. You have no line of sight to the wound. It's not, the origin of shirt deformation is down here. This doesn't, it's a foot away from where it needs to be.
Yep.
And you see the shirt yank up like this, not like this.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have line of sight. It doesn't burn the shirt at all. It doesn't explain a single observable. What we have to do when we do science on this case is we look at the observables and then we propose a hypothesis explanation for those observables. And then we have to demonstrate that our hypothesis explanation can actually cause the observables. And at that point, that hypothesis becomes a candidate explanation. And then we have to find out which candidate explanation out of all the demonstrated candidate explanations, which of those is what's actually true. But exploding microphone theory explains exactly 0 of the observables. We just say, oh, it looks like there's something moving under the shirt. What's under the shirt? The microphone's under the shirt. Therefore, it must be an exploding microphone. But it, like, when you look at the details, it's at the wrong location. It doesn't burn the shirt, doesn't have line of sight to the wound, doesn't explain the necklace behavior. That's why I don't believe exploding microphone theory. I think that's why Kelly doesn't believe exploding microphone theory. I'm getting a yes from you.
Yeah,
And
of course. No, I mean, I entertained. Look, you guys, I mean, I have talked to John Bray since October. I sort of resurrected his theory back in December. It was right before Christmas. And, you know, some people on X give me a hard time about that to this day because it's not my personal theory. But that's how I hope that you know that I'm sincere in this investigation because I will listen to anybody's theory. And, you know, that he's done a lot of work on that. He hasn't, you know, done the recreation to the extent that Jordan has on, you know, with the squib and fake death theory. But there aren't many theories out there that have really done the level of work that Jordan has.
I've done 700 tests. John has done 0 tests. And he gives the explanation of, oh, I can't get a hold of the explosive. So you do it in the computer, like I did. I tested your theory in the computer.
I will say he has done one test. I know of one test, even back then, that he had done kind of shooting something into some sort of a meat pack that was small. But that's the last one, you know, that's the last one that I personally remember.
Yeah. And like point blank, direct head on with a slingshot. And it's like if you slingshot a battery at a chunk of meat, of course it's going to damage the chunk of meat. But, you know, the microphone is over here. It's not out here. And it doesn't have line of sight. So like he has that one test, but it doesn't demonstrate any of the observables except for, I guess, the wound, but it's doing it from the wrong angle. So. And that's why I like question some of the other creators out there who, like Candace. I'm not going to name other names. I'm not going to do that. But there's a lot of other creators out there who have adopted this theory, despite the fact that basically every single point that it makes stands vehemently opposed on technical grounds. I just don't get it. I don't understand why it's so popular, despite the fact that it doesn't explain anything.
He died in a mysterious set of circumstances in his backyard where he was burning stuff in a barrel and something exploded and ironically hit his neck and he died instantly. And his friends didn't believe the circumstances surrounding his death. I had heard rumors of an illegal explosives ring, sort of people getting pet in illegally. And Corey was this guy's friend since high school. There's a lot of questions about, you know, shortly after Corey died, Israel did their beeper patent explosive attack within like 2 months. It was very quickly. That's weird. All of this stuff could be considered conspiracy, but I think what adds weight to conspiracies are a lack of answers. When there's a lack of answers, conspiracies become weighted. And the investigation into his own assassination attempt, that doesn't make sense. Trump can't make that make sense.
Okay. I think we did that justice for now.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. I will just kind of tease, I guess, a little bit to folks because now I'm having to like log into my X account this first time on this computer, and which thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Jordan. Jordan
We
has
can be
helped
more productive now.
upgrade me. But I will just kind of tease that I will post something a little bit later because, yeah, I think it's fully relevant that Corey Compatori, is that how you say his last name? That his wife had actually not been able to get his cell phone back for a long period of time. And shout out to one of my ex followers who I will tag in the post once I do post it. But I think it is very revealing and very interesting to compare that to Erica being able to get Charlie's phone back, immediately.
That's great. I didn't know about that.
Yep. I know. That's why I'm about to break some news.
Exclusive on Try and Prove It.
That's it.
Okay. So the next section here that we have, if you're watching on desktop mode, you can see that we have this lovely graphic to the left that shows you what part of the show we're on. And we're moving on to the next part of the show, where I'm going to discuss some of the principles that underlie what we've been talking about tonight. And it's still there. Perfect. It didn't delete it. So when we didn't want the show tonight, and I think Kelly's talked about this, we didn't want the show tonight to be like whining and complaining about Candace and some of our gripes against her. We want it to be constructive. And so what I did was I looked for last night, we did our show prep, and I thought about, okay, we have this gripe about Candace, we have that gripe about Candace. What's a way of packaging our concerns in a constructive manner? And how can we convert these into principles that can be more positive and productive? So the first principle that I'd like to share is that specificity in terms builds professional trust. We've already kind of talked about that, so I'm not going to harp on that too much. Basically, like I said, with Freon, and like Kelly said, with 30-6 and with FOIA and a lot of these other terms.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the reminder, FOIA. Oh my gosh, that was like nails on the chalkboard when she gave that example. Sorry, I don't think we had a chance to pull that one up. I'm so glad you reminded me of that, Jordan. FOIA. I can't say FOIA. It's FOIA.
No, I think she pronounces it FOIA.
Well, yeah, now she does, but she says she can't say FOIA because it reminds her of FOIA or FOIA. I sent that to some of my investigative reporter friends, and because that weekend they were having investigative reporters and editors conference, which is the big investigative reporter conference of the year. And I was like, what do you think? And they're like, oh my God, this is so bad. So anyway, it was cringe.
And that reflects on everybody in this case. So that's what the complaint is. So it builds professional trust when you use the right terms. When you're an attorney and you go in front of a jury and you use incorrect terms, that reflects poorly on your entire case. You're probably not going to win the case if you use all these terms wrong. And it seems little, it seems insignificant, but it really does matter because the opposite builds professional trust. The next one, if I can get this thing to work, is when you change theories openly, it builds professional trust. So like what Kelly did, Kelly, I think you were always, I listened to your show with Gary a couple months ago, maybe. I think at that time you were like 50-50 or like maybe 60% fake death, 40% exploding mic. Is that accurate?
I would say it was more 80 to 90% fake death. I just was already nervous about going too hard on that route. on Gary's show because I'd looked down and I saw his chat was already massacring me. And so, yeah, I was trying to tread lightly.
Mm-hmm. But that was something that you promoted a lot, and I don't think you promote it anymore. But you're not just throwing it by the wayside. You're not pretending like it never happened. You're explaining why you were more attracted to the theory and now are less attracted to the theory. It doesn't create this scenario where the audience is like, wait a second. I don't think we've gone into this example, but with Candace, when she went on one of her many vacations, before she went on one of her many vacations, if I can talk correctly tonight, she said with 100% certainty what?
That she demonstrates he was hit in the neck right here, and then and the bullet then here, and I mean she's doing all this demoing, and it's with 100% certainty.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not about us being haters, you guys. I see that kind of rolling through in the chat. This is not a Candace hating podcast. Literally, what we are just trying to do is kind of have a gut check, okay? For everyone who's, we all have spent probably at this point thousands of hours, right? Digging into stuff, watching podcasts, reading things. I just want you guys to keep in mind some of these things because it's easy to get caught up in the rush. That's all.
But now it's exploding microphone theory, and she has issued no correction.
Yes, and it would have been so easy to just say, at one point, based on the evidence that I had, I thought that it was a shot to the neck. And I know that I told you guys that I was 100% sure that that's what it was. But now I'm considering this other theory.
Mm-hmm. It's the absence of correction. But when you do what we do, and okay, we did a stream where...
Oh, let me also mention this too before someone goes. Okay, Diane, thank you for the question. Yes, I went on Gary. This was back in November, I believe. Absolutely did not take the check. I appreciate you being here, but if you look through my history, all of the things that I have talked about, it would be crystal clear that I have not taken any sort of check. And I just got home from UVU, and there's still more on that trip to come. But 1000% no.
So we did this stream where I didn't necessarily make a correction, but I said, okay, first I thought it was a CO2 pendant gun, and then I found a better way to get the results that I wanted, which was with an elastic band. So we did this stream where we talked about, hey, I found a better solution to my problem of how do I reproduce the observables. And you see the thumbnail and you see the title, and it's like, okay, we got new information. We got a new idea that seems like a good idea. And we're not going to just suddenly change it and act like we didn't change our mind on anything. No, we're going to do this whole live stream and say, hey, we have a better idea now. And maybe we were wrong about what it was. Maybe we weren't. We don't really know. But that's how you build professional trust, we think. And then the next principle I would like to share is, let me see how fast I can get this in a new banner. And boom. Remembering all primary plot points builds professional trust. This is kind of similar to the last one, but when we have a 1 hour show where we monologue for 30 minutes, our show is about an hour each night, right? Is that how long our show is?
Yeah. Yep.
So when we have a 1 hour or 30-minute monologue every single night, when we bring in like dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of side characters, but we ignore like 90% of those a week after they come out, it's like kind of hard to follow, and it makes people question what parts of what you're saying are actually important when you don't connect the dots ever. So remembering all primary plot points builds professional trust. And then the next one, go the extra mile in thoroughness to build professional trust. So that's what we did tonight on with the burning stuff. Instead of, you know, how hard is it to find a polyester shirt? It's not very hard. You can just go to Walmart or to Kohl's or JCPenney or whatever and get one of those, especially if you have a staff. And, you know, that's another thing that builds professional trust, is going the extra mile to get some gauze pads, get a polyester shirt, and actually film it to show people the better representation of what it looks like. And, you know, video is always better. And of course you have the ability to do video. So,
I mean, to think of like the extent that, for example, Jordan has gone to even just improve the visual quality of this stream, like we should all give a big clap to Jordan, because he has gone the extra mile and then some. So thank you, Jordan.
well, Candace's show is lovely too. They have very good graphics. They have very good thumbnails, and they have a very nice studio. They have great audio. And, you know, when they do producer stuff, they have a very good show, a very well-designed show as well. So props to them for that.
Yeah.
But when it comes
You've done
to
it all yourself though. So
But when it comes to the investigation stuff, I think we could maybe have done a video for burning the shirt. My final point here is keeping theatrics out of real investigations builds professional trust. Let me see if I can fix that. I don't think it's going to like.
that's okay. It's fine. It's fine.
It's not though, because what are we talking about? Building
Professionalism.
professional trust. So if I can fix that, there we go. We have accuracy here. So what are we talking about here? When we see an investigator playing games with TPUSA, like, oh, I'm going to withhold this evidence and see if they lie. That's what this is kind of talking about. That can be an effective strategy in a real investigation with law enforcement. Withhold evidence and try to catch the person in a lie. That's something that you do. But when it becomes a problem is when you're making it theatrical for the public to get views, to do cliffhangers, to get drama on your show. That's when it kind of crosses the line between a valid investigation technique and kind of crosses into just theatrics for the purpose of theatrics. And so that's the issue I take with some of the stuff that Candace does. It feels more like it really blurs the line between, is your intent to get more views, or is your intent to actually do real investigation work? And I feel like when those things are mixed together, it erodes professional credibility. So keeping theatrics out of it, I think, is a great way to stay on the right path.
Absolutely. So look, we're all doing the best we can as we push forward every day. And we thank you guys so much for being here with us. Okay. Do you want to talk about UVU footage?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Well, are you guys ready for some never before seen UVU footage?
Mm-hmm.
These are, so this is going to be a video. Hopefully it works out okay, that I have not shared before.
Awesome. This is going to be exclusive to Try and Prove It.
Yep. Alrighty. Let me load it in.
And no laws were broken in the production of this footage.
Well, that's what we hope. No, in this one there wasn't. Okay.
In none of them there was. There was
Yeah,
no
that's it.
laws broken in any of them.
That's it. That's it. Okay, let me see. Now I just have to figure out where, when I did my little transfer, the video went. Oh, Jordan, I see someone in the stream is asking, explain your theory for us one more time, please. While I'm pulling this up, would you like to expound on that?
Let me see if I can pull that up so I know who I'm talking to. Lisa, yes, ma'am. Or I don't know how old you are. I called your kid sir last night anyway, so I'll call anyone ma'am or sir. An 8-year-old. Okay, so my theory, and it's relatively well aligned with Kelly's theory, is Charlie Kirk faked his death. And the reason why, from the technical end, is we see Charlie Kirk's shirt yank up to his ear like this. And it's like, okay, why does his shirt yank up to his ear when he's allegedly shot? There's a lot of explanations, the chief of which is probably cavitation. So his neck expands, and that kind of acts like a hammer on the back of the necklace, which yanks the pendant up. And then the pendant yanks the shirt up as well to his neck, to his ear. And that's why that happens. I don't think that's what actually happened, though, because the back of the necklace remains undisturbed on the back of the neck, and that is inconsistent with cavitation. And when you also line up high-speed footage of cavitation with the footage from UVU and like time synchronize it so that it's time synchronous, it doesn't line up. Cavitation is way too fast. The stuff that people are calling cavitation, the deformation in the neck, is way too slow to be cavitation. We shouldn't be seeing the deformation on frame 1, 2, and 3. We really shouldn't be seeing any deformation at all, actually. Maybe on the first frame, but we should not be seeing the deformation on multiple frames. That should all be over and done with within a very small amount of time. So I do not believe it is cavitation that is responsible for the shirt yanking up to here. So what is it then? We have a lot of contextual evidence that Charlie Kirk faked his death and that everyone was in on it, and that it's easier to do this. Like, we have a lot of evidence of coordination behind the scenes. And I know that at the trial or at the prelim hearing, we don't want to talk about any of the stuff that was happening behind Charlie within TPUSA on the day of the event. But we do, because we didn't come to our conclusion on day one like the feds did. We want to look at the whole picture and not just at what happened on the Losey Center roof and behind the Losey Center. We want to look at everything. And it looks like there's a lot of coordination. Everyone at TPUSA, they're doing the hand signals immediately before, and immediately after, we have a person ducking, we have a person doing this signal, and I'm not going to do it because it's anti-Semitic. They're doing an anti-Semitic hand signal immediately before the shot. Immediately before the shot, they're doing a hand signal. It's like, do the hand signal, boom. And this person ducks immediately before the shot, and immediately after the shot, phone up to the ear. They're going to try to say that they're covering his ears, but it doesn't look like it. They just walk away at a normal pace, and no one's reaching for their gun. No one's looking for a shooter. No one seems scared. We have people reaching into their pockets to pull this out. We have one person reaching into someone else's pocket. It doesn't seem real, guys. So then you look back at the technical stuff. Why does his shirt yank up to his ear? Well, my theory states that it's a device that's cutting a prosthetic. If you want to do a faked death with a neck wound in skin to make it look real and obviously not fake, you have to have a way of cutting the prosthetic. In film, you cut it before the camera starts rolling, but you can't do that here because it's basically live theater in the round. And you have people very close to Charlie on all sides in perfect lighting. There's no camera that you can control. So you have to develop a completely new technology in order to fake his death in real life. And I think that the side effects are that technology is the shirt yanking up to his ear. I think that's a prosthetic cutter. Its job is to cut the prosthetic so that the blood can come out of the prosthetic. So that's my theory. It appears as though you have the video loaded. I think you said something, but you were muted.
Yes, sorry, I do. I was also trying to load into my X at the same time because I saw someone, and this would be something that would be really quick that we could address. I can't find the chat right now because I'm trying to pull up my post, but asking me about if the TPUSA shills compared to Brandy and Billy last week, what was true, what was real.
Do you want that on the screen now?
Yeah. Let's see here.
It is live now.
Okay, cool. Okay, and I'm going to pull this back. Hey guys, Kelly Raybon here on the ground in Utah. I have been outside the courthouse all week long for the Tyler Robinson hearing, and now I really understand why they had so many TPUSA aligned podcast hosts there inside the courtroom as VIPs. They needed to control the narrative. It is crystal clear to me that even if they lied to you, they would do it at all cost. So today, the judge showed some additional videos from UVU specifically, including a video on the rooftop. So now the Benny Johnsons and the Brandon Tatums and the Jack Posobics, and I'm sure because Donald Trump Jr. was in there earlier this week, he'll be saying this too. They're saying that that you could see in 4K quality Tyler running across the roof and pulling the trigger. Well, Billy and Brandy were in the courthouse, and they say that is simply not true. It was not conclusive video. While there was, for the first time, the opportunity to see a figure, very blurry, approach the edge of the roof, you could not see, according to Billy, the trigger pulled, and you could not see if the face even looked like Tyler. So be aware, be wary, and just know, I think the TPUSA recognizes that they are losing control of the narrative. They are losing the case. And this is maybe a last-ditch effort, or at least a big-ditch effort, to try to sway public opinion and manipulate people. You all know that TPUSA has lied to us countless times. Do not fall for this one, okay? Don't throw in the towel just yet. It was like my little, hey battle guys, cry. Sorry. On the but yeah, I tracked what was going on instantaneously, you guys. So I was there to interview after court had dismissed. First came Brandon Tatum, and then Jack Posobiec came out, nicely timed, probably 20 plus minutes later after Brandon. And after hearing how similar their recounts were, it was like boom, 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 hitting all of the points, the talking points. And so right after Jack was done, I turned to a national news reporter, and I had chatted with her earlier in the week, and she'd actually reached out to me even before the trial. And we had not fully connected to chat. But anyway, I turned to her and I said, I know for sure why. I said, it's crystal clear. It's crystal clear to me why all of these TPUSA podcasters were in the court this week. It just immediately seemed like so obvious. And again, remember, I have a long track record of media experience. I was an investigative reporter for TV stations for 12 years. I know how these folks operate. So I could just see it immediately. I wish that I would have talked to Billy and Brandy before those interviews, because I would have gladly asked both of those guys one on one, you know, why are you saying that the video looked like this when others in the courtroom say it was basically the same footage as before, but just zoomed in? Why are you calling it crystal clear HD video that you can make out his face and see him take the shot and all that when others say that you can't? I wish that I would have known that, but here's where we are.
And to that point, yes, she is a real investigative reporter. I think this is some of her best work. Just type in Kelly Ray Bond, MEO. This is a really good piece. I think this is a masterpiece. You should check it out.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Pause. Okay.
Thank you. There's a whole host of stories. Laws changed as the result of my stuff. So, you know.
Thank you. Tell us about this video.
Okay, so right after I filmed that little selfie video, then I was sitting in my rental car. Then I hopped out and started doing this walk. And essentially, I see the hair. How did I get so much volume? I don't know. It was a lot shorter. It was teased. News hair. But anyway, so I was walking. So right after I finished that other video, I decided to do the walk that allegedly Tyler or someone had done as best as I could kind of figure out on the fly. I was holding so let me forewarn you, I was holding my cell phone and I was holding this little DJI Osmo camera, which I was hoping was going to work, but I realized quickly that it didn't work. So anyway, forgive me for a second at the beginning here while I have a little mishap, but this is the first video that I think this is the first spot that I think Tyler was captured on camera. And interesting thing, we can start rolling it.
Yeah, real quick though, we have a $2 super chat from
thank you.
Harrison Project. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Love and respect to all investigative journalists working for CK.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you being here. So feel free to go ahead and roll it, and I can kind of
roll it. Go ahead. I think you should have control.
Yep, there we go. So that was my other camera trying to start rolling. But in this house, it was interesting to me that there are actually 3 cameras. And those are the WISE cameras, W-Y-Z-E.
There are a couple of cameras on that house. I think I see 3 of them. At least.
Neighborhood was so quiet. That sign says private driveway, no UVU, something. Well, that's when my other camera died. Well, wasn't accepting the card.
So this was on your phone.
Sorry, had to
Yes.
clean my
So I
lens.
cleaned my lens and was like, we're going with it.
Sidewalk.
Because I got you the wrong card.
It's okay. I did walk down the street like a weirdo. I'll do anything for you guys, you know? I maybe, put more feet on the ground than the police. I don't know. The only thing that I could have done better was go and knock on all of the doors and ask. And I'd like to do that
Well,
next time.
you would like to do that not alone.
I'm not
Curious.
scared.
I feel like if needed, someone could get through there. But we're just checking things out.
So I'll tell you guys, it's actually not that. Oh, let's see.
That person has a camera.
It's not that far. So we're about to get to something interesting. Oh, no wonder I looked so tired. Y'all, I was doing a lot.
Definitely gonna walk around back there. Looks like pretty thick brush back there.
Now
There's no
this
dogs
is
barking.
This is UVU.
Okay,
Well,
no
this is
dogs
UVU
barking.
Property.
Okay, sorry, I was just talking over myself, but this is interesting. So I don't think anyone else has reported this, but this is UVU property. And this is where
Seems
I
plausible.
believe he went down.
Somebody could just take this down. Now, there are also stairs that they just built over there.
Okay, if you could pause that, or sorry, I could pause it, I guess, for just a second. So we're not going to see this in this moment. I might spin around later, but we did show this on Monday night's stream, I believe, that there are brand new stairs that are on this property. They're just, you know, a little bit away from me, but still as part of this same lot. And those stairs, I need to get the exact dates that they were built, but they are new and they may not have been there when, my understanding is that they were not there actually when, you know, on September 10th. And I see someone was asking Wise or Waze. Wise camera, not Waze camera, Wise, I believe.
Trying to see if I can find that part. Or maybe I have it.
And also, I will see. I noticed that some folks have said, "Wow, this is like a really nice neighborhood, but it also kind of feels a little weird." Yeah, it felt a little. I mean, it was a beautiful neighborhood. Just felt a little like Stepford Wives or something. I didn't see anyone out and about and walking. I only saw 2 kids the entire, you know, time that I was there. And I was sitting in my car for quite some time between posting that video and then trying to cool down a little bit. It was hot. It was almost 100 degrees that day.
I think I have the video here. And hopefully it won't lose our spot if I remove it.
Okay.
Oh no, oh no, oh no.
It's okay. Yep, there you go. Thank you.
So these are those new stairs.
Yep, and you can tell they look brand new.
So you do not believe these are the stairs he took?
I don't believe so because my source says that they were not built yet, but I just need to verify that with official records.
Mm-hmm.
But it wouldn't really matter because the other one, this walking path of sorts was just fine to walk down. And then when I didn't include this video here, but I also shot video walking back from UVU and up to the car. And even, at 41 and not in the best of shape, I was able to walk it just fine.
And in extreme heat.
Yes, in extreme heat. Y'all see where we're at? So in that moment, when I say y'all see where we're at, I was pointing directly to the Losi Center rooftop, that corner. Run across the street.
And that's where you cross the street, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Now this is the Losi Center on the right.
What I don't know is if he walked over here. That's literally the corner where he would have.
It's so weird that they hang out there so often. Like a lot of your footage, they were hanging out there.
I
They
mean,
weren't when I was there, but
nearly every single time that I went to UVU, there was a group of kids at that corner.
mm-hmm.
But up there is the camera. Let's keep going.
And there's 2 of those cameras.
Mm-hmm. So some folks would think that the door was unavailable, but nope, not me. I just walk right in. Now, there are some folks who've said that Tyler, well, the person went around the front of the Losi Center. I don't think that that would be necessary.
Nope.
Okay, here we are. So that's in.
Are they just going to keep that fence up for the rest of time?
I don't know.
And then if that, in fact, is the area, that he assembled the gun, then he'd be on his way. Let's see if it'll focus, sorry. So yeah, if that is in fact the area where he assembled the gun, then from there, he'll be on his way to the perch.
You know what's so weird, Jordan? I didn't notice that. Yeah, next time I need a water boy. I didn't notice. I don't know if you're able to go back a little bit. Sorry. When I was zoomed all the way in, it almost looks like a cross at the top.
Oh, that's just a power pole.
Okay, but I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, coincidental.
I would assume that's a power pole.
I don't know. I hadn't noticed that before just now.
I think it's a power pole.
Just
but maybe
interesting.
not. I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting. I'll have to look at that later.
On his way to the perch. And then from here, I just don't understand why you would go and run off that side versus making a run for it back here, so that way you know that you're safe, and then maybe jetting off that way. I understand that you may not want to go back through the building to get back to the neighborhood, but it feels like there are maybe some other places you could go to hide. Why don't we know about any other scouting trips?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have spoken to several folks there, and they all wonder the same thing. They feel that the likelihood of someone being able to assess this campus without having, at least one scouting trip is highly unlikely. And I can tell you that, just from, and I have a very good sense of direction. And I mean, I navigated, I think, very well. I found all of these little nooks and crannies by myself, and there are more that I'll show you guys later on. But, I had a good amount of time. I wasn't on on a crunch. So,
Yeah, and I will share my perspective very briefly. We've discussed it on the channel before. And in my opinion, he could have probably done all of the prep work in Google Earth with 3D buildings, and I would have jumped off the roof as well if I were doing that mission. But we've discussed that in the past, and we can agree to disagree, and that's okay. So,
yep. Yeah. I mean, mine is coming from multiple people on the ground in addition to walking it myself. So, yeah, we just agree to disagree on that one.
Or agree to disagree. All right. So,
I think that's what I said.
I don't know. I think you said disagree to disagree.
Oh, agree to disagree.
Mm-hmm. So now we can go, we're going to try to start shutting the show down a little bit and go to some audience chats here. So I think, did you clean these out before the show?
I did not, no.
Okay, so I think a lot of these are old. So I'm going to clear some of these older ones out. I know we did this one. So I know that one's old. Okay, I think this one's new. Candace's show is where evidence goes to die. That really I don't know if I agree with that, Ruby. Because, I mean, exploding microphone theory went there to get a whole new life. I don't know what exactly they mean by that. So, okay. I guess you don't have thoughts on that. Snake Baby says.
Sorry, no, I was just typing back. Okay.
Did you have thoughts on that?
Candace's show is where evidence. Yeah, of course I do. I think that, and I've noticed that theme several times in the chat from folks. I think what they're saying is there are things that get brought up there, and they may be valid, or they may just be acknowledged so they get seen on the national stage. Maybe they send people down some rabbit holes, but oftentimes they don't come to fruition.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we were talking about earlier with the completely forgotten about side plots. Snake Baby says, Kelly, I've been trying to put everyone onto the Cassidy Campbell angle for months now. Do you know what that refers to?
I don't. So Snake Baby, you're going to have to refresh my memory or let me know. I'm sorry. I'm normally pretty sharp on all the things, but I cannot remember what that one is.
It's a YouTuber. Tempe, Arizona. I don't know what the connection there is. Gary says, thanks, Kelly, for grabbing video.
Oh, Snake Baby. Okay. It's the guy I sent to Muppet today. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So this was someone who had filmed a selfie video that seemed crisis actor-ish immediately after. And I mean, we could pull that up if you wanted to. It's in my X responses. Tinfoil hat, Miss Dana, if you could send me a DM. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You have your X pulled up already. Remember, I don't have to
Do I
do
still?
everything.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't. Okay, my bad. Here, let me pull that up. Okay.
I don't have to do everything anymore.
Oh man. Are you stoked about that? Here we go.
I've ever seen, right? So I'm at the Charlie Kirk event, which is here at Utah Valley University. And as soon as the event gets started, and he was maybe on like the first, second person or whatever. And what I thought I heard was fireworks, like firecrackers or something like that. And then everybody just starts freaking out, ducking and running, trying to get down, take cover, get through the doors. Turns out Charlie Kirk got shot. Yes, Charlie Kirk got shot. There's multiple people that were telling me how they saw like he was shot like around this area and like blood was like oozing out of that area and stuff. Dude, that's absolutely insane. But no more shots were fired after that. Like they shot Charlie Kirk and just completely stopped. I don't know what the hell's going on because, you know, there should be, you know, more police and stuff like that. This is a massive event at Utah Valley University. There's tons of people and there's terrible policing, which is insane, you know, because you never know. There might be some crazy ass person out there with a gun and look what happened today. So, see, look at this. You hear the police sirens, everything. Dude, that is scary. I've never had anything like that happen. And, you know, let me tell you, man, just because you don't agree with somebody doesn't mean you should try to take their life, man. That's messed up, you know? Like, you know, I'm not even a fan of Charlie Kirk. I disagree with him on a lot of stuff, and I think he's a shill. But, dude, that's so wrong still. Like, why would somebody try to take another person's life just because they disagree? I don't know, dude. At the end of the day, man, just don't take your life for granted. Hopefully he's okay, man. I really, really hope Charlie Kirk is okay, regardless of our differences in opinion, man. I hope he has a fast recovery. I hope he's not, you know, I hope he's still alive. So sad to see, man. Sad to see. Okay, so
I can't hear you.
Wow. Lots to say. You know, there seem to be some crisis actors on the scene. And as I pulled up that comment, I need to verify, but from Snake Baby, that this guy is from Texas and not Utah. Quite interesting.
And that's a very long driver flight. So, what was the reason that came up today?
I mean, lots of people doing lots of things.
Just crisis actor stuff?
I mean, people asking questions about different folks there. Yeah.
Okay. Gary says, thank you, Kelly, for grabbing video at UVU of the things I requested. Much appreciated. Perfect.
Absolutely. Happy to help.
GCL says, oh, she means business. She has the news reporter coat on. We both kind of sort of do. Tracy says, all of these are directed at Kelly. Kelly, did you see the message Candace placed out about the info regarding the exact t-shirt? Yes, we talked about that earlier in the show. We did see that, and I responded to her, but I don't think she saw it. GCL again says, I think she plays who is she? Probably Candace. Plays an important role to spreading information to the community, but seems to have tunnel vision narrowing in. I don't know that I would say she has tunnel vision. I think she has ADHD syndrome, because she talks about this one night, then she talks about that, then she goes down this rabbit hole, then she sees that squirrel, then she sees that squirrel, and before you know it, she's talking about 30 different squirrels in 1 week, and we don't know which one was important.
I think you're being generous. I would call it a healthy dose of misdirection and not following through on things.
Tracy again says, Jordan, there's one addressed to me. Thank you. Jordan, it was last night when Candace was asking for info about, we just talked about that. Why is this highlighted? Yeah, we talked about that.
Well, okay, Jordan. I mean, some of these things were highlighted before we started answering questions. All of them were highlighted before we started answering questions. So, can we real quick? Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
There was a super chat that I wanted to make sure that we got while she was still in the house. From Diane Doyle. Thank you so much. This is very, very kind. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks for being here.
Blake Fednar says, Christy, right, I already forgot about it, but I'm glad you reminded me. Why is this highlighted? I don't know why this is highlighted.
I have no idea.
I didn't highlight it.
Well, it was probably an
moving
accident.
On. So who do you, Stormy Light says, so who do you believe is more involved? TPUSA staff. Okay, what is this asking?
Who do you believe is more involved? TPUSA staff and Erica. Who do you believe is more involved, or TPUSA staff and Erica? That's what it's saying. It's not saying TPUSA staff or Erica. I think it's saying, who do you think is involved, or is it TPUSA staff and Erica?
I think there's a missing word, but we don't need to be grammar police. I won't be grammar police. I think that TPUSA staff is involved a lot, and I think Erica is involved a lot because she gains SPIMA.
But also, I would say that I'll let you think on that for a second, Jordan, because I know you need it. But also, I think they're all involved. They're all in on it. Okay. They're all in on it. Because if Charlie was exiting stage right, they were all going to assist.
Yeah, I think Erica was involved because she gets SPIMA, sympathy, power, influence, money, and what's the A? Attention.
Thank you. Thank you. I wanted to acknowledge this dingo muffin has been giving me a hard time tonight. Woo-wee. Man, ladies, stop guessing at everything. Jordan doesn't need to think for a second. Trust me, I know him well enough to know that on SPIMA, even though it is his acronym, he still needs to think on it, okay? It's one of the many reasons why we adore Jordan.
It's because every single time I think that the S stands for SEX. All right, Vindicti says, pretty sure Candace knew Barron since at least 2019 through mutual friend Gavin McGinnis. Maybe, I don't know what their past is. Do you know? I don't know.
No, I think that's just a heads up that, yeah, something to look into. I think there's a lot there that most folks don't know.
All right. Shannon says Charlie Kirk, Erica Kirk, Candace Owens, TC, Baron Coleman, not Trigger Smart. Who's TC? TC. Who is TC? Chat, help us out. Who's TC? Tucker Carlson. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Tucker Carlson, Baron Coleman, and others are all ops working for Trump's deep state. They all know he's alive. Wait, they must not have. Yeah. Candace, Tucker. I don't know about Tucker. I think Candace knows he's still alive. After her meeting with Erica, I think she found out. Baron Coleman, I think he might know that he's alive as well. Maybe. I don't know about Tucker though.
Yeah, I think Tucker, because Tucker, he went to Tucker's house allegedly right after one of those like final group meetings. I don't know if the Hamptons or whatever, but he went to go see Tucker.
You mean Charlie went to see Tucker?
Yes, he. That's who we are talking about.
You did that on the phone earlier. Started with he, and I'm like, who are you talking about? All right. Peter says Charlie Kirk fakes assassination to initiate a controlled demolition of TPUSA. That's your theme, Kelly. And launder audience and voters into America First, anticipating Epstein files and looming FBI money laundering FBI investigation. But that's basically your theory of a controlled demo of TPUSA with your video, Erica.
Erica's exit. Erica's exit. Yep.
FIFO asks, why don't you watch Baron anymore? I think they're talking to me. I think I answered that though.
You did, but you started.
I started. Like when you recommend a Baron episode, I will oftentimes watch the wrong Baron episode, but I'll enjoy it anyway. And then I'll watch the correct one. But it's always entertaining. But he's on 5 different theories. He's, I think, landed on exploding microphone. And I just have a very hard time trusting anyone who lands on exploding microphone. Ruby says it was extreme. I was exhausted just watching along. I think they're probably talking about last week. They were exhausted just watching the prelim hearing streams with us last week. Dominated my life. Yeah. Yeah. Ruby again says it's more than pronunciation. It's almost like a tell. And I, by God, say Freon. Yeah, I do not. If you are a technician working in the HVACR industry, you should call it charge refrigerant gas. Josh says, and she's a good talker, which is weird. I think they're talking about Candace, which is what we were talking about earlier. He also says, Jordan, why when he's standing up, the pack under the belly, but then when he's sitting down, it looks like it's up way higher, or is that the air or something? So there's the belly bulge that I've hypothesized was the blood pack or the blood bladder. And that was kind of on his belly about right here. I don't know that it rides up though. I'm not aware of that. Because I've not really seen the belly bulge when he was sitting down because of the way the shirt kind of falls. Have you noticed that?
No, if someone has a particular photo, by all means, feel free to send it our way. I think that's always, the best because we've just all looked at so much footage and so many pictures that if there's something that you see, by all means, send it our way. We'll take a good look at it.
GCL says, I really think you should hear out the EMP theory before categorizing it to John Bray. I think it holds a better argument than the microphone theory. I don't know where the coil is. I don't know where the coil is. So that's why I can't really get behind EMP. There's no room for a coil. And I have no idea why on earth you would use an EMP to take out Charlie Kirk when you have a guy on a roof with a gun, when you could put a guy on a roof with a gun. That's not how you assassinate someone. Do you have any thoughts on that?
No, I'm not as read up on the EMP theory, so.
Did we talk about this one?
I don't think so. I mean, I feel like that's a lengthy convo, but we can dive into it a little bit if you want.
K-A Pisces?
Pisces.
constellation.
That's my sign.
I don't even know what mine is, but they say, hi, new here. Does anyone see any physical similarities between the Butler incident and Tyler Twiggs a year later? Yes, I do. I think it's all political theater. I think it's all false flag. And I think that the fact that none of the victims are interested in investigating it and asking questions about the things that don't add up, that kind of tells you that it's fake.
Yeah, I never bought Butler for a day. I had a very strange experience that afternoon, evening when it happened. I had a conversation with someone who is an elected official, and I had said, "Hey, did you just hear that this happened?" And they said, "Oh, no, I didn't know about it, but I guess that means Republicans, we will be winning, we'll win in November."
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that was it. I knew instantly. I knew, and this person, I would not have expected them to have that sort of reaction. And I'm just saying, I instantly knew that seemed weird.
Mm-hmm. Josh says, Jordan, how can you explain the shrapnel from the road mic in the truck, though it was like the battery that was used to do the blood squib? I don't think there was shrapnel from a road mic in the truck or in the SUV. I don't see any evidence of that. There does look like there's some things kind of flying off Charlie during the event that I'm not sure how to explain, but I'm not convinced that it would be shrapnel from a mic under his shirt, because that's under his shirt and the shirt does not appear to be burned or exploded in any way, shape, or form. So it should be constrained under the shirt, not flying out from the shirt. And I'm not seeing anything, and I have not seen anything inside the van that is clearly from the microphone. I've seen shards of glass, but there are like a billion other possible sources of that glass for that glass apart from the microphone, and I don't think the microphone has enough glass or plastic or whatever inside it to explain all that stuff in the SUV. So I have no evidence in front of me that says that anything in the van or SUV was from the microphone in the first place. Tinfoil hat, Miss Dana, thank you for the $5 super chat. I think it's a she. She says drones were flying around the event. Oh boy, here we go. The N1098 Lima Hades plane is a Pentagon plane. Spy plane flew over UVU. Cullen says it deploys drones. Okay, here's my spiel on that. That aircraft was a trainer aircraft at the time. It was designated to become a Hades plane, but it had not been outfitted at that date. It was still in a phase where it was in a transition, and it was a trainer aircraft. The flight profile that it flew on the day around the Utah Lake at the time of the incident at UVU is a missed approach procedure at that airport. You do not deploy Hades drones at 200 feet AGL. You deploy that at altitude so that the enemy doesn't take you out of the sky with an RPG. You don't deploy drones at 200 feet above the ground. That's not how you deploy drones with that system. Intuitively, you look at that flight profile and it's like, maybe that's how I would deploy drones, by going super, super low. But that's not how any military system is deployed, because they would take you out of the sky with an RPG. So the flight profile is consistent with a trainer aircraft, and that was a trainer aircraft. So that aircraft is not under any suspicion in my book. Okay. Tinfoil hat, Miss Dana again says, why is nobody discussing? Okay, we just talked about that. Pure Johnness says a good way to help your friend fake his death would be to control the alternative narrative. Yeah, a lot of people think that a lot of the people in this space are controlled opposition, Kelly, right?
Yes, absolutely. It kind of feels like you're playing whack-a-mole when it's like kaboom, 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 and then like more of them pop up. It's a mess.
And there's a lot of drama in this space that I think is just trying to get us distracted.
Totally.
Get us to all fight with each other.
Yep.
Garrison Project, thank you for the $2 super chat. They say in South Dakota and California. Oh, they're saying that they're in
San Diego, California.
San Diego. Thank you. Please let me know if you need anything here. I don't think we do. But thank you for the offer.
Thank you so much. Well, I do know that there are a lot of TPUSA kind of folks in that area. And then there may be may at one point have been some military stuff in that kind of area that was being questioned. But anyway, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We'll keep that in mind.
Okay. Are there there's a system to deploy drones at 200 feet AGL. I don't think that there is. Hades does not deploy it at that altitude, I do not believe. But I mean, if you were to custom design a system to do that, I'm sure you could, but that is not consistent with the Hades platform. I don't know that we have any other pressing chats.
Well, this has been fun. No, I mean, I think that's about it. It's been wonderful. I think we covered a lot of ground. Thank you so much, Jordan, for taking the time to experiment, to do that live, show us all, a variety of different things being burned.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loves fire.
So that'll do it for tonight, and stick around for a little while after we click the button, because we have an outro video now. So I'll let Kelly hit the button.
All right, you guys, thank you so much. And we will see you next Thursday. And who knows, maybe before then too. Please make sure that you are subscribed to Try and Prove It, and to Jordan Henshaw, and to Kelly Raybon. Thank you so much. Oh, hold on. We got one more super chat coming through at the end. Tinfoil hat, Miss Dana. Thank you for the $5 super. Under oath, UVU security man said yes when asked about drones at the event. She asked if there were UVU drones, and he said no. Interesting.
It could have been the media people at TPUSA, because we do have information that like the media department got some footage for the video or something.
Yes, but interestingly, did not allow supposedly Andrew Ferrasi, who was one of, if not the only, like contracted videographers, and it was his photographers. It was his very first time there. He was told that he couldn't fly a drone. Mm-hmm. So many strange things. And of course, Brian Harpel had said no drones. Questions on questions.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night.